Good day, Bolt fam. Welcome to Bolt Blitz Uncut. It's our Monday edition, so we have the best co-host in the business in Burt Grossman. I'm Booga Peters. Thank you for putting up with me. But before we actually put up with me, let's talk about my guy, Burt Grossman. Burt, free agent frenzy. Shit is all over the place. Chargers sign a fullback. They bring back Khalil Mack. Let's just start with Khalil Mack. How important is he to a locker room when you've been in these NFL locker rooms? I think we have an advantage over these other shows in that you really get to say, yeah, it's 1 year, $18 million, all guaranteed. But how important is a Khalil Mack to that locker room and the team on the field?
I think very important. Culture beats anything pretty much. If you have a bad culture, you're done. I don't care what you do on the X's and O's, the weight rooms, how fast you run. If your team culture is bad, you're done. And I mean, we say 18 million because you and I are old, and that seems like a lot of money, but Zion Williams got 18 million. Would you rather have Zion or Khalil Mack this year?
Oh, God. No, for the record, if anybody out there is listening right there and they're like, oh, I wish we would have had Zion instead, turn in your NFL acknowledgement card or NFL intelligence card and never, ever, ever attempt to get it back again. The fact that, look at you, Taylor. We appreciate you. Yeah, that $18 million for Khalil Mack is looking good. But, Burt, you understand this game inside and out. When it comes to that edge, when it comes to that pass rusher, how important is it to have a guy who can not only do the pass rushing, but the run stopping? That a guy like Khalil Mack, and there are very few like him, a guy like Khalil Mack, what does he provide in the run game that makes him so expensive, if you will?
The problem is not what he – here's the problem I have with Khalil Mack, and it's his age again. And obviously they both accepted that he's not what he was because a prime Khalil Mack would be getting, Micah Parsons money right now, $50 million a year. So, I mean, if you just do the numbers, you have to say, well, if I'm giving him 18, he's depreciated and slowed down 50% from his prime. And it comes quick when you're his age. I mean, he was good last year, but you take a year off, another training camp, you just don't know when the body catches up with you and he falls off a cliff. I think that's factored in the price a little bit because you don't know. But it's a lot of money for leadership. So he's got
team leader. I mean, listen, you can speak to this better than I can, but how important is it, especially as a defense? Because I feel like it's different. The defense never knows where the offense is going until they figure it out. The offense obviously has their plan in place. But when you have a guy like Mack who can diagnose plays, who is a run stopper like that, are we able as fans, because regardless how old you and I are we able as fans to say like, it makes sense for him to stay there and he's a team captain and he's not just a locker room solidifier. He's somebody that everybody listens to. That's important. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. And every team kind of has one or every defense has one. And if you don't, you're not a good defense. With me, it was, I think my first year was probably Gary Plummer and then Junior kind of took over that. Yeah, I'm going real old now. Junior kind of took over that role when he got here, but it's cheerleader, it's mentor on the field, it's keep you calm, it's don't go crazy, it's lead by enthusiasm and effort. I mean, all those things you can't put a price tag on, especially when you bring younger guys in or even to mentor younger guys. I'm not going to try to say his name. Tui Tolopo.
Tui Pelotu.
Thank you. I mean, he'll get there. I think he's probably the next heir apparent, but because Derwin James is obviously in the backfield. But, yeah, for now, I think it's great to have them, and they're there every day. And Horowitz and Harbaugh aren't idiots. They're not going to spend the money. And bottom line is, would you rather have Zion or Mack for $18 million a year?
No, so I love that you said it that way. So do you want a left guard who struggled and cannot pick up a stunt, can't diagnose it? Yes, he played next to Bradley Bozeman. I mean, that's a crush if anybody had to deal with one.
And I think that's what Cleveland – you have to look at Cleveland and say, why is Cleveland paying him this money? And they believe that it was probably Bozeman that was making him look that bad, and he's not that bad. And you know what? I kind of might agree with them.
Yeah, but you agree with me that they did us a favor, as Chargers fans, in taking that Zion contract off the table. Because I'll tell you right now, I do know for a fact that the Chargers actually were trying to negotiate with Zion. But that being said, it just kind of fell through. And when the money that was thrown at Zion, the Chargers said,
Yeah,
we kind of know what we have in house, and we're good on that. Hey, big shout out to Phyllis Williams. We appreciate you, girl. Thanks for stopping by. We got Burt Grossman, by the way, our co-host tonight. You look at that O-line, and they passed on Zion. How concerned are you? I'm not at all.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how much was Bozeman because that is a crutch, but when you watch him, he's average at best. I think he's not. I honestly think you could draft somebody first, second round that's better than him and a lot cheaper.
I'd like to see a guard in about maybe the second round, but I think you can stretch it all the way to the fourth. Give me a Bo Stevens out of Iowa. I love them corn-fed boys, and I think that there are a lot of opportunities. But this is not a mock draft show. This is Bull Blitz Uncut, and we're kind of running through everything that's happened today. Tight end Charlie Kolar, formerly of the Ravens. Big surprise that the Chargers pick up a former Raven, but this tight end can actually block. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what your offense looks like. Oh, it's Mike McDaniel, where it's an aerial passing attack. It's going to be great, and a lot of movement along that zone scheme regarding the running game. You need a tight end who can block when you're down on the goal line, and those points fucking matter. How important is it to have a guy who can actually block at tight end? And Charlie Kolar, he signed a sizable contract considering he's a tight end too.
Yeah, and I think that contract, I think they're going to, whether it's McDaniel or not, I mean, you did draft a running back with your first pick last year. He's going to be healthy. You have to think they're going to try to run the ball more because that's what Harbaugh wants to do. And ultimately, he's the boss. You're not paying that much for a blocking tight end if you're not going to be running the ball more. And you have to remember, I mean, we always bring this up, but Omarion Hampton's going to be healthy. You pay a blocking tight end a ton of money, and both of your tackles that were out are going to be back. So they want to run the ball next year. I mean, obviously they want to be balanced, but they don't want to do put everything on Herbert and you have to be Superman. I think they want to be balanced.
Well, I think one of the things that is the most important for this offense moving forward, and Mike McDaniel literally talked about it during his opening press conference with the Chargers, is we don't need Herbert to play hero ball all of the time. And even though McDaniel didn't flat out say it, he was taking shots at Greg Roman, the former offensive coordinator, in that, hey, we don't have to put him in a position to win every down. What if we had some quicks? What if we had some bubble screens? What if we actually threw a screen to a running back? I'm telling you right now, watching Greg Roman was so frustrating because he had, past tense now, Omarion Hampton, who can catch the shit out of the ball out of the backfield. Kamani Vidal, he can catch the shit out of the ball as well. And what did we do? Forgive me for that. What did the Chargers do? None of that. He was so concerned with pick plays. And by the way, for those of you who don't know what I'm saying, and I'll break it down for you, NFL style.
Go ahead.
A pick play is when you have one wide receiver try to get in the way of another DB while a wide receiver, another target, will get underneath and they try to get open. I do not need to see that 85% of the game. It does not make sense because you know what happens is they zone it off and they just pass it off. This is the fucking NFL. Greg Roman, grow the fuck up. Good luck.
Now, you know what? You're not allowed to run picks. We call them rubs.
You can call it a rub. So I will call it whatever the fuck I want, sir. But it is a rub. You're right. But if you do it the way that Greg Roman designed it, it's not the same, and you don't get those cats open underneath. Hey, big shout out to Taylor Bloom, producer of the show, and she's saying big year for Omarion Hampton coming up. We don't know who the guards are necessarily going to be, but, I mean, I'll say right now, anybody who's paid attention at all to Bull Blitz in any capacity knows that Omarion Hampton was my favorite player in last year's draft class. Fuck Ashton Genty and all that bullshit. Give me Hampton because he can do it all. What are your expectations for him moving forward, especially in this year where it looks like you have a new center? They're going to get a new left guard, clearly, and a right guard. Your thoughts on Hampton moving forward?
For him, I think he got a kind of a shitty deal last year. Again, as bad as the offensive line was this year, the center pickup I thought was great. I think it's night and day between Bozeman and him. I mean, you'll see that immediately. You have your two tackles back, or two of the best tackles in the league. That's solved. And I firmly believe you can find guards in the draft, like just big old guards. I mean, these players are the transfer portal and extra years. They're 26 years old coming out. They're already veterans. Half these.
They're already making money too, Burt.
Yeah, they're professionals. They're not 4 years and out like back in the day. They're 6-7 years in. They're big. They're grown men. I think they would have no problem. Granted, you take a crapshoot when you try to get a rookie to be able to play left tackle or even right tackle because of the edge, but you can hide them inside. I think he'll have a big year, and I think they plan on it too by paying that much for a blocking tight end.
Yeah, well, love it. And by the way, we'll also include the addition of Alec Ingold, former Dolphins fullback. Really excited to kind of see him in the fold. They're not going to be an I-form team.
No, but they also signed a fullback.
But in the red zone, in those type of situations, you're going to see a guy like Alec Ingold really kind of, hey, Terry, nice to see you, girl. Appreciate you. Last time I called you a dude, and I'm sorry because Jessica decided to point that out and make me seem like a fucking asshole. But really nice to have you here, Terry. I hope you like the, I think it's Sunshine Gold Justin Herbert jersey. I hope that got there because I haven't heard back from you. I hope it did get there, and I hope it's there. Burt, obviously, you're the co-host of the Monday show. Zion Johnson is gone. He's a Brown. He's in Cleveland. You played in Cleveland. Are there any positives to being there, or is it just an absolutely shitty situation?
Yeah, the one positive is you get an $18 million paycheck every year. That's the positive to Cleveland. That's how you lure them in there. No, there's not much going on in Cleveland that's good. That's a hard go. Well, I think LA sucks too. But if you were still in San Diego to go to Cleveland, that's a rough take. But 18 million cushions the blow a little bit a year.
I mean, I think I could make anywhere home for less than 20%, less than 10% of that, if I'm being completely honest. But
I go to Tehran for that. I go with the Mullahs and play with them in Tehran for 20 million.
Don't you? We're not political here, but
did you vote on the new Ayatollah yesterday or no?
Jesus fucking Christ, Burt. I don't know what you just said, but I'm just going to disagree for fun. You're adorable. And by the way, for those of you who are unaware, Burt is a Pittsburgh guy. Look at the fucking Pirates hat on his dome right now. So when we talk blue collar and we talk in the trenches, the interior offensive line and the defensive line, I hope y'all are paying attention. Again, I do this radio shit, but this is Bolt Blitz Uncut. I'm Booga Peters, and you're joined by, of course, my Monday co-host, Burt Grossman. We talked about Zion. Trevor Penning, he's back too. $4.5 million. I'm not sure that he's viewed as
backup.
I know backup. We're gonna get there. I know you're jealous as fuck. Don't be afraid.
There's two things. I'm jealous, and I'll go back to my other point. If a backup goofball's getting $4.5 million, are you really worried about Khalil Mack getting $18 million?
Don't pick on me right now in front of all these nice people. That's horrible.
Man.
Yeah, by the way, hey, my boy Brian is loving your shit. Laugh out loud, laughing my ass off at Burt and the Woolers. Yeah, I bet. I know, Brian. And F. Penny, Nick Milliken, my mentor, is saying, fuck that. No, here's the deal. So you can speak to this better than I can because you might have been in your time with the Chargers or additionally in the NFL. You might have been that church-going guy. Maybe you were one of the nasty dudes like Penning. What are your thoughts regarding how important is it to have an enforcer, a guy who does not give a fuck about the rules, but he's going to lay somebody down if they fuck with your quarterback?
Where's he going to fucking lay him down, from the fucking sideline?
I hate you.
Or this is the problem. Half the time when the guys get laying out Herbert, it's his man if he's in the fucking game. So no,
that's how Bradley Bozeman lost his job.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I think that was important in the 80s and 90s, but it's no fucking enforcer now. Have you watched NFL football now? There are no enforcer. I'm gonna push you. There's no enforcer now, especially from a backup like Bill Lambier or something like that. That doesn't exist anymore.
I live in fucking Oakland County. You cannot. So no, I can't say that out loud. Never mind. That I signed an NDA, but let's just say
all right, we'll say enforcer. But go back again to the 80s and 90s. Bill Lambier, he was an enforcer, right, for the Pistons. You watch
1,000%.
you watch LeBron today. You think there could be an enforcer in the NBA today? With
We couldn't figure out what elbow he hurt.
yeah, it doesn't exist
We all
in
saw it.
football anymore either. There are no enforcers in football.
Well, shit, I'm getting picked on, and it feels like I just have to find a way to retort, but I can't argue with you. You're right. It's a different league now. They don't have flags strapped to them yet.
Yeah.
So let me put you on the spot. How long until that happens? 12 years. Flags on the players.
No,
Flags
no. It's going to be flags within 5 and 12 years. It's going to be robots.
Okay. Probably. Hey, let's address what my guy, and of course, my mentor, Nick, is just loving everything that Burt says because that makes sense. We're going to address Steve Rogers here in the comment section. Any chance Chargers make a run for Trey Hendrickson? I will say this. They just signed Khalil Mack for $18 million. They have Tui Pelotu. Any thoughts on Hendrickson coming into the fold? And remember, he's going to be like 30-something million a year.
I love him, actually. I wish they would. But like you said, I don't think so. I'm surprised. Yeah, he hasn't been linked somewhere yet or went first day, but it would be nice. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be nice.
I love to see and hear you playing Madden live on the show because there's no fucking chance they're going to bring in Trey Hendrickson. There's no way. You think Joe Hortiz and Jim Harbaugh are like, give me the most expensive pass rusher ever? Harbaugh inherited Justin Smith when he was with the Niners. Like that's the best. And he had Aldon Smith too. Like he had the Smiths. He obviously you've seen what Matt can do, but he's a little long in the tooth. And $18 million was an interesting decision. I know that my producer and co-host Taylor Bloom might not agree with that signing because of the price tag. That being said, the value in the locker room, what he brings as far as leadership is stellar. But what was it? 5.5 sacks last year?
Yeah, I got run out of town one year when I had 6 sacks.
I know.
I
set you up. I set you up. Say it louder for the people in the back.
I got run out of town one year when I had 6 sacks. God, I didn't get 18 million. But how many? He missed games with his elbow, though, didn't he?
He did. Well, his elbow was on backward. Listen, for the record, by the way, for the people who have been concerned about the fact that Bull Blitz Uncut hasn't been live a lot lately, I tore my ACL, had surgery, and then
what do you do to be tore up like this every year? Seriously, are you like what?
I'm a natural human. So anyway, since we're about to really make me look even worse, I tore my medial meniscus.
How?
Knee.
How?
Just walking up and down the steps, brother.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Oh, I'm so serious. It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm literally in a fucking wheelchair as soon as they want to get me there. But I won't. I'll crawl my ass up the steps. I'm in the basement. I'm in the dungeon of the section. By the way, we're going to rename the studio, the Section 8 studio. We're renaming it no matter where I put this. I don't care if eventually we end up somewhere big. It's the Section 8 studio, no matter what anybody says. But let's get back to the shit that's important. The Chargers are not big spenders in free agency. But that being said, they did make some moves. Obviously, Khalil Mack trying to keep their own. Alec Ingold, that has been kind of purported as the most obvious free agent signing out there. Are there any splashes you expect them to make, or is this really just a team that's kind of looking to re-sign their own and then possibly work towards the draft?
How long have I been a Charger person? I don't even want to say fan. 35 years? I can't give you 1 year they've ever made a splash. Free agency,
maybe
1 year. 1 year they made a big splash for somebody.
Well, I mean, what I'll tell you what fans would say. I would say there are literally zero, by the way. But I would say that people would use the J.C. Jackson signing. And that's
why they don't do it anymore. Okay, after that shit.
And they don't do it exactly for the reason you said. Hey, hold on. I like what Nick just said. How about the tight end from the Ravens? Good point. That's James, I believe. James Allen. Isaiah Likely, he went to the Giants and he was going to stay with the other Harbaugh, if you will. It made sense. I would have liked him, but it wouldn't have been a splash signing. Be a dish is what I'm being told, by the way. Biadish, excuse me. God, I'm getting updates everywhere. Biadish, I don't know if he was a splash, but I will say this.
He was a great upgrade, though. I don't know if he was a splash.
I mean, when you go from the 41st center to the 12th, I think that's a huge upgrade. Yeah. The fact that they got him for right around what would amount to, if you looked at the contract overall, 3 years, $30 million. Did you see what Linderbaum went for? $27 million a year. I'm good on that. Fuck no.
Yeah, no. I don't think they didn't need Dwight Stevenson at center. They needed a substantial upgrade.
Hold on. These cats don't know that shit. He's a former Dolphin center, and he's slick. He could move in the run game. He was solid in pass pro, and he probably weighed 255. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I bet he was light.
Yeah. Mike Webster, same thing, about 255.
Mike Webster, 255, Hall of Fame center. I mean, we look at the. Oh, I knew Shaw would come. Hey. So our boy David Shaw, who's a part of the Bolt Blitz group chat as well, he knows old school football, and he's the only person who gets my movie references. So I appreciate you being here, my brother. You're not 255, you're 275, Brian. Don't lie to us. I'm playing, brother. I love you regardless. You didn't have anybody like Jim McMahon on any teams you played in where they wore sunglasses and then did Taco Bell commercials. Who was the biggest diva on any team you played for? We're switching it up.
I did have Jim McMahon. He was a Charger my rookie year.
Was he really?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Are you asking me who the biggest douchebag was?
Or we can do all that. We can do that. I said diva, but we can do douchebag.
Oh, diva. I thought you said douche. Sorry.
Oh, we could do all of it.
Biggest diva. You know what? We didn't really have divas back then. I mean, you couldn't even if you had a concussion, you couldn't.
You got the fuck cut, man. You got out.
Yeah, I mean, you have to realize. I got to give it to. I was the 8th pick in the draft. Started as a rookie. Had 10 or 11.
Well, say that again. You were the what pick in the draft?
8th.
So you're a top 10 draft pick, and you're the co-host of Mondays on Bull Blitz.
Yeah. My point being, I think my first year I made $250,000 after taxes. You can't be a diva. There's no room to be a diva after you get your California taxes and your federal taxes taken out of your $250,000 paycheck.
That's insane.
Yeah, so there wasn't a lot of divas just because there wasn't a lot of people making that much money to be divas.
Be honest, how hard is it to see these mediocre guys get huge contract? Come on, say it loud and proud.
It's bad, but I'll put it to you this way. I remember when I was out, it'd be like, it was the group before my group be like, Lawrence Taylor be like, I didn't make that kind of money, or Dick Buckets be like, I didn't make that kind of money, and you're like, yeah, but 250 is not life changing where you can make $30 million a year now, and literally generations be set up off one season. So it's difficult, I'd say, and college too. You get paid in college now too. Before you go to the pros and get paid.
It's a weird system too. I hate the NIL shit, and I think a lot of cats that that they maybe haven't done anything to earn it, and they do it off of their namesake and whatever, and maybe whom they're related to. But man, it's look at Brian, 8th pick in the draft, and now at Section 8 Studios, full circle. I mean, it's 8-8, baby. Brian is clever as fuck. Hold on. Brian is clever as fuck, by the way. He's so smart, and he's one of my favorite Charger fans. He's in the group chat if you ever get bored enough to join us, sir. But let's keep talking Chargers. It's an interesting offseason already, the Alec Ingold ad. The fact that they brought back Trevor Penning, Khalil Mack.
Flag football enforcer and pickleball enforcer.
I know.
These are pickleball enforcers.
So, I think it's important that you are the one to bring that up, because maybe those guys don't matter anymore.
They don't.
Are they even allowed to be tough anymore? Are players allowed to be badasses?
You're not even allowed to put your hand on a quarterback's helmet. You're not even allowed to hit anybody on the shoulder pad coming across the middle. What are you enforcing? You're not. The refs enforce it for you. You don't need an enforcer.
Hey, hold up. You got to understand something. My boy Shaw really knows some shit. I seem to remember Burton Bernstein, probably Rod Bernstein, I'm guessing, getting interviewed by ESPN prior to 1992 playoff game. One of them was wearing some shit-kicking cowboy boots. That's in the the comment section. Were you wearing cowboy boots? You better not have been.
I've never wore a pair of cowboy boots in my life.
Yeah, your feet are too fucking wide. I'm sure of it.
I'm from Pennsylvania. We don't wear that shit.
Yeah,
I don't think it was. I think it was
Junior. Hold on, Shaw.
Was it Rod Bernstein? I thought that was Junior.
Well, he's saying Bernstein, but he didn't put a first name on it. And Shaw is weird with Chargers history.
If you're on my Facebook, go to my Facebook right now, and it's like a pin. That video is pinned on the top of my Facebook. You can see it, the video right now. You don't have that kind of technology.
It's almost like this guy wasn't just a former Charger. He was a really, really good one. Listen, what people don't understand about this show and you being here on Mondays is, I don't know, you were a guy I didn't just look up to because I'm shorter than you. I really wanted to make sure that at some point I found a way to reach out to you, and lo and behold, here you are, and you're killing shit on this.
And this is how you fucking pay me back.
I can't wait to see you in person. I'm gonna gut check you right away. I won't cup check you, but I'm gonna gut check you right away because I'm right there.
You fucking blow your knee out doing that. You sure you can
I might. But I have good insurance, clearly, or I wouldn't have all these surgeries.
Man.
Let's deal with it. Yeah, sorry. So what Bert's referencing is, I don't know if I said this earlier. Whatever. Torn right ACL, and then we have an MRI that was confirmed that I have a medial meniscus tear on my left knee. I am wheelchair bound, and it's going to be hilarious because I'm going to get even fatter, and y'all get to deal with a weird beard and all the goofy shit that we do here on Bull Blitz. I'll tell you this. We don't only have an incredible cast of characters, but our guests are second to none. The shit that I have lined up for everybody, because when you're injured, and you have a little more time to reach out to folks, we're really doing some very important shit that I think will really enlighten your experience when it comes to divulging and absorbing Chargers information. Burt, your thoughts on the 2026 Chargers as the free agency period is kind of kicked off, but there's so much that can change. But your expectations regarding a win total, and even as far as, is this team ready to move forward, or are we just kind of blowing smoke up our own asses?
Oh,
I know. I'll put you on the spot, too.
No. I don't think Denver's any good, to be honest with you. I think that's a fraud team.
The quarterback sucks ass. I'm tired of propping him up.
Yeah. And some of the teams that you worried about before were Buffalo. You don't know what's going to happen with them, with the coach getting fired. Baltimore, you don't know what's going to happen with them with the coach getting fired. Kansas City's old as fuck. I actually think this would be the year. If they're going to be the year, it would be this year. Because all the old, powerhouses are gone. Who else? New England, I'm not sold on them either. But I actually think, I couldn't name a better team going into the season. Granted, nobody gets hurt than the Chargers in the AFC right now. Can you?
No. You get Alton Slater back. I pointed with alt to the left side, by the way. Accidental. Sorry, guys. If it were up to me, Slater would move inside, and y'all hate me for that. Y'all fucking hate me for that.
You just brought that up. You know how old we are? When I was playing, Alt's dad was the tackle I'd go against every time we played.
Joe! He and I are Facebook friends, by the way.
Oh, man. That's how old
I know it's tough because he talks a lot of shit. No. Hold on. I'm not trying to get Joe Alt, the other Alt, mad at me. I just mean he is very clear on what he knows about the offensive line, and we're Facebook buddies, and I appreciate that. But I'll say this: he did not want his son to be a Charger. I will say this: for a top 5 pick, it's one of the best picks the Chargers have ever made, and they've made a few in there, unless Bobby Beathard traded them off, which you're familiar with that as well. I think this 2026 team, regardless of what happens throughout the remainder of free agency, is actually pretty exciting. Little help at wide receiver. Your thoughts? Listen, Keenan Allen, you and I have talked about this. It would be great to have him back, I guess, but I don't know how well he fits in McDaniel's system. How important is speed in your mind in that McDaniel system as far as the way that he routes guys open via the scheme?
How'd it look in Miami? We get a lot of speed there.
Oh, they're all fast though, bro.
Yeah, they're all fast and they sucked.
No, but I can scheme you up if you can run. I can do that right now, and I'm nobody.
Well, you know what? The one thing I forgot to say was, the question mark is defense coordinator. I don't know if it's going to be as good as Minter, and I don't know what happens with the defense. That would probably be the one question mark I have with them is who comes in there and is he nearly as good as he was? Because he was good.
So let me say this, I'm gonna veil it in the beginning to kind of keep people interested in what we have to say because I don't want to drop the soap right away. My ex-wife and I met at Western Michigan University, and we created 2 incredible babies. I mean, the best babies ever. O'Leary comes from a brief stint at Western Michigan University. It's a special campus, and then he comes back to the NFL. Harbaugh, both Harbaughs, they have a tendency to let their important coordinators in tow go to the college ranks and kind of manufacture their game and get their shit figured out. Chris O'Leary coming back, he's not just a mentor clone. He's more than that. He's a little more aggressive. So guys like a Nadame Tucker, who nobody had heard about at Western Michigan University, finished in the top 5 in the entire nation in sacks, pressures. I mean, really got after it. He can produce great players because nobody heard of Tucker before then unless you were in fucking Kalamazoo. Nobody's in Kalamazoo. It's where I was born. I promise nobody pays attention to that shit. But I do believe that it's important to note that with Mack and Thule, you do still need at least a rotational pass rusher. This is not the Burt Grossman league, unfortunately, anymore. You really need some help on the outside. I'm not going to put you on the spot and say, ooh, who should be an additional pass rusher? But at this point, the Chargers have a ton of money. Do you think it's important that they add somebody that they can have come off the edge in addition to Thule and Mack?
I mean, pass rusher is always important. Again, that's changed. It was never, back in my day, every down was Leslie on one side and me on the other side, and it never changed. You never had a
Stop. I gotta stop you right there. It was Leslie on one side. For those of you who are uninformed, Leslie O'Neal and Burt Grossman, let me do that every day, all day. Good Lord. Who was in between y'all?
My first year was Lee Williams. When I got Lee Williams was and when I got drafted, he got kicked down a tackle, and I played the other.
I know.
And I think who was the other one? I forget who the other one's in. And then like Sean Lee in that group came in, Blaze Winter and those people.
Blaze Winter, he's a friend on Facebook. Ruben Davis eventually, but I don't
think Chris Mims got drafted and came in. He played inside a little bit.
Product, RIP.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Well documented. I never got along with Leslie, but if he wouldn't have hurt his knee, like when I watched him when he was a rookie here, he was as good as Lawrence Taylor as a rookie, and then he got that horrific knee injury, and he still limped this whole time, and still ended up putting up like 100 sacks.
Crazy numbers. Yeah, I know a little bit about that. I don't talk about that because my papa, my dad, he had a little too much information on that. I'm really still not sure why. But the Leslie O'Neal thing, for those of you who are kind of in the dark and you don't know who that was, incredible pass rusher, but not the nicest dude. So
let me give you a story.
Give me one.
All right, this is a camp story. It's my second year. It was the second year or third year. We reported to camp at UC California, wherever it was. UC San Diego, California. That's where we were at camp. And we all reported, and Leslie wasn't there. And so me and Lee, that was the second year, because me and Lee are like, where's Leslie? He's not holding out. He's got a contract. Nobody tells where Leslie's at. About day 3 at camp, Leslie's still not around. Nobody will say a word. You remember back in the day, they had like hard copy and a current affair and all this stuff?
Oh, of course, dude.
They show up. Yeah, they show up and start interviewing us. And I'm like, is this about Leslie? They're like, you don't know? Leslie apparently was banging some guy's wife. All right. The husband found out it was Leslie that was banging him, made the wife call Leslie on a 3-way call, and then gave her rat poison, made Leslie listen while she died on the phone, then told him he's coming for him next. They put Leslie in protective custody for like a week till he found the guy and kept him out of camp. That's the kind of guy Leslie was.
I'm telling you right now, you heard it here first, and Burt is not too shy to share. Listen, I'm fucking floored. I'm telling you right now. I remember
it was a secret for about 4 days, but when Curran and Fair and all them showed up,
sure,
everybody knew it then.
Listen, I remember the McDonald's commercial with Leslie O'Neal, Bryce Pop, the 91s. I think it was a burger that was 91 cents or something fucking goofy. I don't remember that part. But I will always remember a national commercial with a Charger in it because y'all never got any love nationally. It's a different scenario and world now. Everybody gets love because you can in social media and the exposure and whatever. But I remember those 91 commercials and you saw Leslie with like the red hair or whatever, and you just sat there going, we'll figure this guy out. But he's an incredible, I think it was Oklahoma State, incredible pass rusher. But nothing you say, well, that is, I almost said nothing you say will surprise me. That is surprising as fuck. I mean, that's really crazy.
Most people don't remember that, but yeah, it was about a good week he wasn't at camp.
Yeah, but I feel like so even though you provided us with a huge nugget and exclusive here to Bolt Blitz Uncut, while you're hosted by Booga Peters and co-hosted by, of course, the great legend Burt Booga. Nah. I get to say if you're a legend or not. I don't care if you agree with me. Come on, man, you are. I can't wait to meet you. I'll be out there in late June. We can do that actually right now. So June 27th, I will be somewhere in the San Diego to LA vicinity, somewhere in between there. I need your help and anybody else's help who will help me find a fucking venue in between there. But I'm picky as fuck. So I really want to find a good spot. But Burt, you have so much to offer to this show. You choose to be here. You're not forced to fucking be a co-host on the show on Mondays. We talk about everything we can regarding the Chargers. You provide incredible stories. I still cannot believe the Leslie O'Neal one. I'll absorb this way after we have this show done. Draft story. Tell us about your draft story. I know a little because you and I talked about 10 years ago about this, but you're coming out of Pitt, a highly, highly touted defensive lineman, huge sack numbers coming out of Pitt. What was that like? And kind of take us through that process for you. And what did it look like back then? You weren't running around in underwear.
Yeah, we still had the combine, but nobody trained for the. I mean, now everybody like trains for it like you're an Olympic athlete. You're training specifically for each drill. We didn't do any of that. You just kind of. I mean, you still lifted weights and did stuff, but you didn't have speed coaches. You didn't have all these step coaches, everything else. But it was interesting. I hurt my ankle my senior year, so I missed like 5 or 6 games, I want to say. So I ended up going to all the all-star games and had to do all that just to do the one-on-ones so everybody could see. And then combine, was crazy because we had that, Dion was there, Mandridge, Aikman,
Barry Sanders. I mean, it was crazy that year. I mean,
it was Atwater. It was a crazy class. But not like it was now, not televised or anything. And then,
hey, did we just brag about you talking about all those players and you went 8? Ooh, come on now, give yourself some fucking love.
No one above me though.
They went above, man, motherfucker. You went 8. That's incredible. If you don't love you, I'm gonna love you. You
it got weak after 7.
Text. You're gonna
weak after 7.
Text. You deserve to get some fucking appreciation, man.
But it was, it was the same. I was in Philly for the draft. I got invited to New York, but didn't go to New York. I just stayed home. And like Chargers being typical Chargers, they never called me or anything. I figured I wasn't getting drafted by them because it said Chargers picks in, and they're getting ready to read it. Nobody called me, so I'm like, I'm not going to there.
Don't you dare say you found out via the reader at the bottom of the screen.
I did. No, well, they give it up to. I think it was it Roselle then? Pete Roselle?
No, Tagliabue.
Was it Tagliabue or it was Tagliabue? They gave it to Tagliabue and he read it. But usually the team calls you before and says, "Hey, we're going to draft you," and you see them all on the phones, right?
Oh yeah, the helmet phones too. Those were cute.
Yeah, so they're talking to people on the phone, but it wasn't me. And then he comes up, he gets the envelope, and I'm like, "Oh, it ain't them. They didn't call me." And it says the Chargers pick Burt Booga. So I'm like, I should have known then. This shit ass organization. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, you must have been devastated. You're like, oh, you're a blue collar fucking guy. You're from Pittsburgh, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go to San Diego.
No. Actually, they flew me out here a couple times before the draft, so I liked it out here. It wasn't. I flew to a couple spots.
And look where you live now, sir.
No, I know, still live here. I flew to a couple spots, and then this was one of them, and they kept me for a while and did a lot of interview talking and those things. And I fooled them, They thought I was.
You didn't shut up. I hate it when you do that.
I put that act on and fooled them.
You didn't fool anybody. They saw the tape and they saw you were a game wrecker. And then what do you know? You're literally, other than Micah Parsons, now you're the only player in NFL history, a defensive lineman, to have double-digit sacks in their freshman and sophomore campaign in the NFL. Why?
No, I think there's a couple now. I think there's 2 or 3 that have it.
All right, tell me who they are.
I thought Kersey got it too. Javon Kersey. I thought he was one of them.
No,
there's not a lot.
No. Kearse was an edge too, but hey, he didn't get back-to-back double digits in his freshman and sophomore campaigns. If he did, call me out and I'll send you a fucking jersey for the fuck of it.
All right, I'm gonna get you. I still hold a Charger record. What do you think it is?
I would say, I hate you right now. Forced fumbles in a season.
No, I didn't even know that was a record.
Come on, talk to me. Don't do this where I have to wait. I'm not patient.
Dude, it's so obscure you wouldn't even get it. Most safeties.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Really?
Yeah,
I love that.
It's
so yeah, dude.
It's a strange stat, but yeah.
So what we could do, what I want to do real quick, and I love you, Shaw. I appreciate you. India Moss is somebody who's been following us on the San Diego Chargers lovers page, and she catches a lot of shit because she's a gal, and people don't think that she knows what the fuck she's talking about. I'm tired of that shit. I've been tired of that shit for over a decade. India knows what the fuck she's talking about. If y'all are not prepared for women to talk about football, then grow up into the 2026 year, and that's on you. India, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you adding your thing. And here's what it says. You could look into Carlsbad. There is a resort there that is called Omni La Costa Resort and Spa, and it's very nice. Like full on amazing, including golf courses and the like.
I think that's out of your price range.
What is it, you motherfucker?
Trust me, that's La Costa's out of your price range.
Well, so is fucking La Jolla, but you don't understand who I am. I'm gonna do all that shit. I'm gonna go to all those places for free. You do not know me.
Oceanside.
I can't wait. Hey, man, I love Oceanside. Stop it, man. I love Oceanside. I kept Burt a little bit too long because he has a certain expectancy level when it comes to making sure that his wife doesn't get really mad at me. I see your profile pic on Facebook. You do all right, sir. You've done all right, sir. Sir, as we have you on right now, thank you so much for everything that you do for this show and Bull Blitz. Tell everybody what you're working on, and then also tell everybody where they can find you on social media. If you have not figured out what your fucking social media handle is, it's on you.
I have not. We started camp today for Strike Force. Today's first day.
Burt is the president of, correct me if I'm wrong, the president of the San Diego Strike Force. He's asking me to try out. I'm a little too beat up, so he'll have to wait another year for me. But if you're trying to watch a professional level of football that is not the NFL, I don't know that there's somebody else that I would rather have in charge of making the decisions if it's not Burt Grossman. Tell us a little bit about that and your expectations for the upcoming season.
We're going to win it all, Booga. We're going to win it all. We're going to win it all. I don't know what my expectations are. We do our first games. It's the IFL. It's the Indoor Football League. First games 23rd of March. You watch them on Yahoo Sports. You can see the streaming up top where they show the sports are streaming. So if you look up Yahoo Sports, and there's like 18 teams. So there's a lot of teams, not just us.
Well, there's only one team that
For your
I'll
heart.
tell you right now, the Bolt Blitz fam, they're only going to care about your team because, hey, we see you, Hugo. He's lurking. We see you lurking. That's all right, man. Hey, for those of you who have yet to like and subscribe, we're really bad about that because I'm old and I don't know, a lot of times drunk. And we don't really navigate the YouTube spaces perfectly as we should. But that being said, if you're enjoying what you're seeing and hearing, and I know you are, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're fortunate enough to have a legend like one of my favorites, Burt Grossman. Man, it's so weird to have you as a co-host. I love it. You have no idea. My pops would be so fucking proud. You have no fucking clue, man. He loved you. The Big Mouth Burt Sports Illustrated cover. If I ever had a chance to slap him in the face for loving that cover too much, I would. I can't because he would beat me up if he was fully functional. But I just need to say this. You can find him all over social media, Burt L. Grossman on some things, but it's mostly Burt Grossman. If you're not paying attention to what he does, I have a feeling he's going to get a little more active on social media because this is a show that purports the opportunity for everybody who's a co-host to make sure that their names are out there. Burt provides the best analysis when it comes to interior defensive line and edges. So if you're not ready to take on that information, then don't try to find him. If you are, on the other hand, just trying to find a loudmouth who drinks too much beer, maybe smokes a little too much pot, y'all know where to find Booga Peters at Booga Peters. You can find me on all social media. We're blessed to have a guy like Burt Grossman here on the program. We're going to get out right now. Lots of free agent frenzy. There are so many moves that are about to be made. Be patient and quit ripping on Jim Hortiz. And what I mean by that is Jim Harbaugh is actually in charge of everything that's going on right now. Hortiz may be the name behind those decisions, but I promise you right now, Jim Harbaugh did not sign on to play second fiddle to the GM he hired on behalf of my guy, Burt Grossman, which is so cool to say. I'm Booga Peters. Appreciate y'all. Have a great night.
See you next week.